Hey, what's up, guys? So, the singer Oliver Anthony, the guy who wrote and sung the viral song Richmond, North of Richmond, which has become extremely popular among Republicans and conservatives all over the internet, Oliver Anthony just condemned the Republican Party and called them out basically for adopting his song as well as playing it at the just recent Republican presidential debate that took place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He actually made a pretty emotional, kind of teary-eyed video kind of explaining his position, and he said some pretty interesting quotes. One of his quotes was, "It was funny seeing my song at the Republican presidential debate because I wrote that song about those people, you know. So for them to have to sit there and listen to that, that cracks me up. It was funny seeing the response to it. That song has nothing to do with Joe Biden. It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden. That song is written about the people on the stage and a lot of people besides them as well." He also said, "It's aggravating seeing people on conservative news trying to identify with me like I'm one of them. I wrote that song about them. Song has nothing to do with Biden once again." Let me go ahead and actually play the video for you guys so you can see his full remarks regarding the Republican Party and conservatives' adoption of his viral song, Richmond, North of Richmond. Here's that video right here.
I'm disappointed to see, like, it's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It's aggravating seeing certain musicians and politicians act like we're buddies and act like we're fighting the same struggle here, like that we're trying to present the same message. You know, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I've tried to be polite to everybody, and I've talked to hundreds of people the last 2 weeks. But it seems like certain people want to just ride the attention of this song to maybe make them their own selves relevant, and that's aggravating as hell. The other thing that I find aggravating is, well, you know, like, it was funny seeing my song in the, it was funny seeing it at the presidential debate, because it's like, I wrote that song about those people, you know? So for them to have to sit there and listen to that, that cracks me up. But it was funny kind of seeing the response to it. Like, that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden, you know? It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden. That song is written about the people on that stage, and a lot more too, not just them, but definitely them.
Okay, so that's the video right there, and you could clearly see that he is upset at the fact that the Republican Party and conservatives are basically using his song to, you know, promote their own political agenda. At least that's how he feels. And I completely understand where he's coming from. Now, just to give my opinion on the situation, this is what I honestly think is happening here. A lot of people on the left on Twitter and on social media are kind of laughing at Republicans and using this as a time to kind of take jabs at them. And, you know, the whole political infighting thing, you know how that whole thing goes. Democrats and Republicans use any little petty thing they can to go after each other. So Democrats are making fun of Republicans and saying, haha, that song wasn't about Biden, blah, blah, blah. But I think there's a way bigger picture here. I think this guy is a singer. He's not a politician. He's not a political person. He's not a right-wing or left-wing, you know, super mega fan or whatever. You know, this guy is a country singer. He made a song voicing how he felt about the politicians and about our political system. And one of the very parties that he's talking about took that song and they've basically taken over the song. And they are trying to frame the way that song, you know, kind of was made by him. Like, they're trying to make their own framing of what the song means and create their own definition. And they're using it as a way to attack Joe Biden. What I appreciate about this guy coming out is I feel like we need more of this in America. I think we need less people picking sides and more people understanding the fact that both parties are bad, to be honest with you. And both parties are share a lot of the blame for why the country is where it is. That's just a fact in my opinion. And I think what he's saying is, look, I'm not a political person. I'm not talking about one specific party. I am talking about both of you clowns. I am talking about all of you people in Washington, D.C., all of you people with your fancy suits and your political debates and your agendas and your talking points. I am talking about all of you. We as regular human beings and working class people are suffering because you guys can't get your act together. That was personally kind of my interpretation of the song and kind of what it meant. But I really hope that what he said, I hope that him coming out and condemning Republicans for kind of taking advantage of that song, I really hope that better unites regular working people, because I really think that our politics is just completely broken and messed up. And I think that life has only gotten harder. I think that life is rough for a lot of average people. The average American does not have $1,000 for an emergency fund. The average American is paycheck to paycheck. The average American is struggling. The average American has to work 2 to 3 jobs to make ends meet. And I think that's kind of what he's singing about. And that's why when I listen to the song, it really touched me, because I'm like, man, everything this guy is saying is so true. And I wish we as the people would kind of wake up and realize that what's happening in our country right now, and just in life in general, in my personal opinion, is deeper than just which party is worse or which party is better. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, I'm still going to vote. I'm not saying that I don't vote and all these different things. I'm still going to vote for who I think should be president, all these, whatever. But I just personally think that the entire system is the problem. I think whether you have a Democrat or whether you have a Republican, yes, some things might be different in terms of policy or whatever, but overall, that's not going to change the overall world, okay? Whether a Republican or a Democrat is in office is not going to change the fact that most Americans are paycheck to paycheck, most Americans are depressed, most Americans are struggling, most Americans cannot afford their bills, and that is what this guy is singing about. And that's why, in my opinion, it's just my interpretation of what he's saying, that's why, in my opinion, this guy's like, man, I don't give a flying crap about all this political stuff. I'm talking about you too. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm talking about all of you. We need a complete overhaul of the system, because the system is broken. It's not working. People are suffering. People are struggling, So that's my interpretation of the entire thing. And yeah, I just appreciate the fact that he spoke out, because we need more people to just speak the truth and go viral for speaking the truth about both parties, instead of this whole partisan thing, which, because honestly, with the Republicans and Democrats, a lot of the stuff that they say against each other is just being petty. That's just my honest opinion. It is just downright being petty. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just they don't like each other, so they find little petty things. So I appreciate him coming out and speaking on this and drawing more attention to the fact that, his song is way bigger than just one party. It's about the entire system, the entire living experience of the average American and the struggles that they go through. So anyway, those are my thoughts regarding the entire situation. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys on the next one.